I had a very high-ranking member of the Navy describe some underwater experiences they'd had with something that was doing 200 miles. And the best thing we got is probably 40. It
was doing 200 miles an hour underwater?
Underwater, big as a football field. And that's no fish.
So is it possible, given our current understanding of physics, for any man-made machine to go anywhere near 200 miles an hour underwater?
Not with our technology, no. The best we have is probably in the high 30s. And he was converting it. Of course, knots is what the Navy guys would do, but there's nothing.
If I fire a 30-06 or any high-caliber rifle underwater, it doesn't go 200 miles an hour. I can probably catch it in the length of a swimming pool or so.
Yeah, or it just falls down.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like...
So we've got, and this was described to me in areas, and I was quoted on some. I was just all I do is quote people that have knowledge. But this was one that was he was talking about. There are 5 or 6, I think, deep water areas of the ocean. You've traveled a lot. I have not. There's not a lot of deep water areas around East Tennessee at Fort Loudon Lake or anything, but they're talking miles deep. And, of course, you've heard this before. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do the surface of the ocean. And he said these are areas where we see a high propensity of these UFOs. And there was a case where it was fairly well documented. They had a multiple sightings. They were doing a maneuvers and had the ships or boats, or whatever you want to call them out there. I'm not a Navy guy. And there was the sighting in the air, and the pilots radioed back and said, "Hey, is there something going on? Is there another operation? We got some secret technology stuff we're working on." They said, "We don't have any." And they, Pentagon, nobody knew about anything. And they pulled it back, and then they pulled everything back, scrubbed the mission. And then the next day, all their internet traffic had been scrubbed. But this guy was kind of a wonk, and he'd made copies of it. But the point I have there is, why would we risk multi-million-dollar apparatus? And why would we put something in the air around our best pilots that could have a crash? Because these guys are talking about there's actually, they've come close to collisions. Why would they do that? They would not do that. No, that would be stupid. No, I mean, there's even, I always say military intelligence, a whole lot like congressional ethics. I don't think it really exists much anymore.
I've noticed.
But anyway, I just don't think that we'd be risking that. So that's my proof that it's not ours.